And Jessica Milan Patterson back with us, the chair of the California Republican Party. So, Jessica, as astute and smart and tuned in as you are, did you see this coming in this cluster that happened over the last 36 hours with regard to the presidential race?
Mark, I have been talking about Joe Biden not being the nominee since June of last year.
You beat me on that because remember, I think I jumped aboard that, and you might have helped persuade me. I think it was maybe October or so. So on one hand, it's like, well, we were a little late on the target as to when, but okay, now what?
It's exactly that. And Democrats continue to be in disarray. We saw last week an incredibly unified Republican National Committee. Everybody is there behind Trump. Everybody is on board. Everybody is working. Meanwhile, they had everything going on in the Democrat Party trying to push Biden out. He had COVID, and now the announcement came this past weekend. A lot of the Democrats are getting on board behind Vice President Harris, but there are some notable holdouts, including former President Barack Obama.
Which is curious, because we've seen Pelosi and others who were present at the, the Julius Caesar Brutus moment over the weekend. I mean, on one hand, you got so many things going on, including 14 million or so Democrat voters disenfranchised with this process, the way this is going.
I think what's been interesting to watch is the juxtaposition between the two parties. You know, the Republican Party could have done something similar, but we made all of the candidates go out there and work for it. And we had our primaries, and we had debates, and we gave the people the choice. And overwhelmingly, Republican voters chose President Trump. And look at the other side. The Democrats moved primaries around. There were some ballots where President Biden wasn't even on the ballot because they didn't want him to lose in a state. And now they have pushed him out. He has reluctantly resigned from running for a second term. And now about 4,000 people get to decide who the nominee for president is going to be on the Democrat side. For a party that is constantly screaming democracy, this is anything but. So
at the same time, we're told, and this is in the president's letter yesterday, which surprised a lot of people, and including a lot of his staffers, that he's going to just continue finishing out his term. So on one hand, we got all these major questions, and none of those were addressed in his letter about his state of mind, his health, his early dementia, whatever. All we found out today is that the White House doctor said, well, he's getting on the other side of COVID. He's doing better. But maybe we'll hear from him in person or see him speak to the nation, as he said in his letter, later in the week. That's weird. And then again, Barack Obama not coming around to full-heartedly support Kamala Harris. Newsom said, okay, I'm going to support her. Pelosi, they're all kind of lining up, but a few key players that aren't. Strange.
Absolutely. When we talk about the president's health, we got a small statement from his brother saying that it was a major factor, but we really didn't get any why. Why are you stepping down when just earlier that morning, surrogates for your campaign were talking about you fighting it through November? And so we still don't really know the why. And it is very strange. It's very strange that we haven't seen the president. And I think the right questions are going to be asked by those who can make a difference in our elected officials and the leaders, particularly in the Republican Party. But if you are not fit to run for president again, are you fit to run the country right now?
Right, and that's the big question. Is he able to do that for another several months up until noon on January 20th of next year? I think we know the answers to these questions. And this is when, as you know, through history, opposition forces, the bad guys in the world, love when there's instability in any particular nation with whom they're having issues, to be kind. This doesn't help our national security. We had this giant meltdown worldwide with Microsoft-related software and all this stuff last Friday. There's a lot going on here. And then the Secret Service, grilling on Capitol Hill today. I feel less secure after listening to and watching that and concerned for any candidate, Democrat or Republican. And if anything, there's more candidates in the mix now, which means more need for security. So it's like, pick an angle. This is nuts.
And we've seen this over the last 3.5 years. We have seen our position on the world stage reduce, and it's because of the lack of leadership. Every single foreign policy decision that President Biden has made has been the wrong one. including our security at the border. We are watching people flood in. Bad people that want to do harm to us are coming through our border. And we've seen this. We have seen what the debacle of our withdrawal from Afghanistan, which left us with 13 new Gold Star families. We've seen what's happened in Ukraine. We've seen what's happened in Gaza. This is all a result of the world's power. Everyone looks to the United States being weak and under a Biden-Harris administration. And that's why it's even more important that we make sure we elect President Trump in November so we can get our country back on track and be back in that position on the world stage.
Jessica Milan Patterson, the chair of the Republican Party here in California, we're told, well, the money's coming in like crazy, $80 million plus and counting ever since the word went out yesterday that Joe Biden is not it, though he's a wonderful patriot. He's sacrificed for his country. He was not thinking about himself. Best president in modern history. He's saving democracy. And Kamala Harris, in her remarks today at the headquarters that she basically took over, from day one, got to hand it to her, she got on it, in Delaware. We're supposed to believe it's all good. I don't believe this is over yet. There's plenty of people within the Democrat Party, including Barack Obama, who aren't full-throatedly championing Kamala Harris right now.
I don't believe it's over yet either. I think the Democrats are still in disarray. Meanwhile, our ally, Bibi Netanyahu, came here and was not greeted by the president, the vice president, the secretary of state, anyone. It was just really, really sad to watch.
And he's going to be in town, I guess, the day after tomorrow. I saw some posters downtown yesterday. The left is saying, let's surround the U.S. Capitol on the 24th, and they're going to demand, shades of January 6th, and they're going to demand arresting Netanyahu as if it's anything the U.S. can do. I mean, it's unbelievable. So that is still an undercurrent, big time. We'll watch this closely, and we will see how the next few hours look. Jessica, appreciate it as always. Thank you much.